Tyra Banks reflects on Victoria's Secret show, 40-50 pounds heavier now. Hello dear, welcome to my Allison News channel. On my channel, you will find viral update news. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. Tyra Banks, one of the most iconic supermodels of our time, is once again making headlines after her stunning return to the Victoria's Secret fashion show Runway. Known for her trailblazing career and advocacy for body positivity, the 50-year-old former model shared intimate details about her experience and how this time on the catwalk was vastly different from her previous stints. In a recent preview clip from the Drew Barrymore show, Banks opened up about her feelings during the show, the emotional connection she felt with women across the world, and the changes in her body that made this return both unique and empowering. A different energy, representing more than herself. Banks, who retired from modeling in 2005, explained how her return to the Victoria's Secret runway felt far more meaningful and symbolic than in her earlier years as a supermodel. This time, the experience transcended the superficial glamour of walking the runway. She revealed that she felt a strong connection with a broader group of women, particularly those who may not traditionally see themselves represented in high fashion. When I was walking on the Victoria's Secret runway this time, I felt like everybody was inside of me, Banks said passionately. I felt like I was representing 50-year-old women, insecure women, women who feel like they don't fit in with societal standards of beauty. It felt like so much more than just me being on that stage. I felt like a vessel, carrying the spirit and energy of all these women who deserve to be celebrated. Reflecting on her runway strut, Banks described it as purposeful and powerful. When I look at the playback, I see myself stomping, and I'm like, boom, boom, boom. I was walking with intention, because it wasn't about just showing off clothes, it was about making a statement. It was different from my younger days when it was more about just me, my body, and my presence. Banks' return to Victoria's Secret signals a shift in the fashion industry, which has increasingly embraced diversity and inclusivity in recent years. Her comments suggest that her presence on the runway was not just a performance, but a symbolic act of empowerment for women of all ages, sizes, and backgrounds. Embracing body changes and growth. Another aspect that set this runway appearance apart for Banks was the changes in her body since she last walked for Victoria's Secret. Now in her 50s, the former supermodel candidly spoke about her weight gain and how it affected her appearance on the runway. But rather than shying away from these changes, Banks embraced them with pride. Also, what was different this time is that my boobs were about 10 times bigger, because was 40 to 50 pounds heavier on this runway than when I retired, she laughed, adding a touch of humor to her reflection. So I was like, don't fall out, the whole time. Banks' ability to laugh about the changes in her body shows her growth and comfort in her own skin. Unlike the pressure she may have felt in her younger years to maintain a certain body image, Banks now celebrates her curves and the message they send to women of all shapes and sizes. By sharing her personal experience with body changes, Banks continues to challenge the unrealistic beauty standards that have long dominated the modeling industry. Her openness about her weight gain and how she carried herself on the runway serves as a powerful reminder that beauty comes in all forms, and aging doesn't diminish a woman's value or relevance. A surprising return to the iconic runway. For many, Banks' return to the Victoria's Secret runway was unexpected, including for the supermodel herself. In September, she took to Instagram to express her disbelief at being back on the catwalk, saying she never thought she would return after retiring from modeling nearly 2 decades ago. It feels crazy being back on the Victoria's Secret runway, she wrote in a heartfelt joint Instagram post. I mean cray-cray, as in cray-cray good. I never thought that I would be back on this runway, to be honest. But here I am, and it's a surreal moment for me. Her excitement was palpable, but she also acknowledged the emotional weight of stepping back onto a stage that had once been such a significant part of her career. While her initial feelings were of disbelief, Banks quickly realized that her return to the runway was about more than just nostalgia. It was about coming full circle in her journey as a model, mentor, and advocate for women's empowerment. Breaking stereotypes and shifting industry standards. Banks has long been a vocal advocate for breaking the mold and challenging the stereotypical standards of beauty that have defined the modeling industry for decades. In a recent interview with Harper's Bazaar, she opened up about how the industry has evolved and the importance of representation in fashion. "I think the world has changed to see that, as women, we don't have to be a stereotype and to fit into one mold," Banks explained. "And so I feel very excited and fortunate to come back and celebrate all of myself, my age, my curves, my experiences, and not feel like I have to cut off a piece of who I am in order to be taken seriously." Throughout her career, Banks has been a trailblazer in promoting diversity in fashion. She was the first African-American woman to grace the covers of GQ and the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, and she used her platform to advocate for more representation of women of color in the modeling industry. Now, with her return to the Victoria's Secret runway, Banks is once again pushing the boundaries, showing that beauty and success in fashion aren't defined by age or size. Her return to the runway is a celebration of inclusivity, and it highlights the importance of diverse representation in fashion, a message that resonates with women of all walks of life. Banks' presence on the runway sends a powerful message: beauty standards are evolving, and women can, and should, embrace their true selves without feeling the need to conform to outdated ideals. An inspiration for women everywhere. Tyra Banks' triumphant return to the Victoria's Secret fashion show is more than just a headline, it's a symbol of empowerment for women everywhere. Her journey from supermodel to role model has been marked by her unwavering commitment to challenging stereotypes, promoting body positivity, and inspiring women to embrace their authentic selves. As she continues to evolve, both personally and professionally, Banks serves as a reminder that beauty is not confined to youth or a specific body type. Her story encourages women to embrace change, own their power, and walk confidently in their truth, just as she did on the runway, with the eyes of the world watching. For Banks, this runway walk was not about reliving past glories, it was about redefining them. And in doing so, she continues to blaze a trail for future generations of women who will see themselves reflected in her story and be inspired to break their own molds. Banks' return to the Victoria's Secret fashion show will undoubtedly be remembered as a milestone in fashion history, one that signaled the industry's growing acceptance of all women, regardless of age, size, or background. In the end, her message is clear: beauty is diverse, and the runway belongs to everyone. "Was 40 to 50 pounds heavier on this runway than when I retired," she laughed, adding a touch of humor to her reflection. "So I was like, don't fall out, the whole time." Banks' ability to laugh about the changes in her body shows her growth and comfort in her own skin. Unlike the pressure she may have felt in her younger years to maintain a certain body image, Banks now celebrates her curves and the message they send to women of all shapes and sizes. By sharing her personal experience with body changes, Banks continues to challenge the unrealistic beauty standards that have long dominated